Good morning. Today is Wednesday, December 23rd, and I am excited because we are just 3 days away to what marks our celebration for the birth of our Savior, Jesus Christ. So, in celebration of that, I'm going to do a reading for you today and share with you a letter that was sent to me of a particular creation story. And I hope that you tune in and that you enjoy it. I also want to share with you a few pictures of my manger scene that I have at home. It was a manger scene that was my mom's, and I find it to be very special. So I'm going to share with you a picture of my manger, and I hope that in the comments below after this video that you will share a picture of your manger scene at home with me as well. We all know that a manger scene can be fancy with all kinds of elaborate things, or it can be something very basic. But no matter how fancy or how basic, it all represents the same thing. It's a symbol of our reflection on the birth of our Savior, Jesus Christ. So I hope that you have a wonderful day today, and I hope that you watch the rest of this video and that you enjoy it. Thank you. Be blessed. Hello everyone. As promised yesterday, I'm going to read to you this lovely letter that was sent to me anonymously via one of our people in our community. Okay, this story starts as, the Bible starts at the beginning of earth and humankind, but God is ever so much older than that. God was once a single consciousness floating in a void so terrible and lonely that there are no words to describe it. God said and believed, I am. God created celestial kingdoms and invisible realms, and all was well for a while. Then his favorite, most beloved creature turned against him, and for the first time blood was drawn in the heaven. The usurper was defeated and exiled along with a third of the angels. They retreated to the edge of space, seething with hatred and vowing revenge. This is where the Bible begins. God created the earth, sun and stars, the plants and animals, and finally, mankind. People were his crowning achievement. Made in his own divine image with the capacity for reason and love. God walked with the first man and woman in paradise until word of all this happiness reached the enemy. Furious that God had imbued man with a divine spark, Satan set about to snuff out that light and break his creator's heart. You know what happens next? As Adam and Eve left the garden, God turned to the devil and between clenched teeth said, I will rescue them. Satan laughed. Thousands of years passed. The world became an incredibly evil place where demons dared to possess men and people were cruel for the sake of amusement. God looked with favor upon a particular group of people, but they continually fell away from him. They were occupied and oppressed by the most fearsome army to date. God seemed far away. But in the heavens, the planets Jupiter and Venus began to align with the star Regulus. This may have escaped Satan's notice, but astronomers in the east saw the king planet converge with planet of love and the brightest star in the sky in the constellation of the Lion, and knew that an awesome king, perhaps the one foretold in prophecy, was about to be born in Israel. In a quiet village, there is a girl of only 13 who has found favor with God, and God, through his servant Gabriel, asks her to bear a child. The girl might have had illusions of grand palaces, armies with banners, and many servants as the mother of a future king. Certainly, she could not have known the truth, that her child would die a death so excruciating that people would still be speaking of it 2,000 years later. All we know for certain is that she believed in God and God in her, that the God that called the cosmos into being had asked for her help, and she did not hesitate. She said yes. 9 months later, in the skies above a humble stable, the angels could not contain their joy any longer. The night air was electric with the presence of angels, and their songs reverberated off the hillsides like dull thunder. Shepherds came in from the fields to see the miracle, but they were not the only witnesses. Satan beheld what he thought was impossible, and for the first time in over 10,000 years, Satan trembled. This is why we call the season Advent. It is the start of a grand adventure. 2,000 years ago, God unveiled his ultimate weapon against evil. 2,000 years ago, God made good on his plan to save mankind. Today, God is calling you to join the adventure. If you have a phone, call someone. If you have an extra resource, share. If you have arms, hug someone. If you are unsure what to do next, pray. Christmas is more than a date at the end of a calendar. It is the anniversary of victory, a victory we should celebrate every day. Maybe not with presents and tinsel, but with listening to the elderly, protecting children, giving to the needy, noticing the beauty and prayerful going about our day. Christ's birth was the beginning of the end for Satan. Christ would go on to resist temptation and defy death and hell to save us all. Today, the stars are aligning once again, and there are signs that Christ will return. So I hope that you've enjoyed this. I appreciate that you have taken the time to listen to this. It was shared with me from someone anonymous, and I wanted to share it with you because it really touched my soul. Thank you very much.